The Walking Dead franchise has been firing blanks for over a decade now, as the best of the show is long gone, and that's exactly what Rick and his crew would have been better off doing this episode, as they wasted all of their bullets just shooting out Negan's Wendy's. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Season 8, Episode 1. This one is called No Mercy, but that is not what Rick showed Negan. In fact, I would argue that Rick showed Negan and the main saviours a lot of mercy, because all they really did was shoot out some windows in the sanctuary. So, yeah, what a waste. And last time I checked, Eugene's the guy that makes the bullets. Eugene can produce a shitload of bullets. Rick and his crew, they kind of need to be a little bit more conservative with their bullets, so it just made no sense to me. Also, Rick pointed out the fact that he wanted Negan dead. Surely the best chance of killing Negan would be the element of surprise. Once Rick here and his group show intent, and they basically say to Negan, we're not going to lie down, we're not going to let you have the biggest dick anymore, we're not going to feel the wrath of Lucille. As soon as Rick stands tall and rebels here, doesn't he need to just push all the way and try and take Negan out? It's turning up and basically saying to Negan, the fight is on, and then doing a 180 and walking away. Is that not just retarded?
No, it's retarded. And the thing is, Negan was snookered here because he's out in the balcony. If your objective was to go and kill Negan, see, as soon as he walked out the door, why didn't they have a shot on him?
Yo, look at the lead up to them getting there. Look how many guys they took out stealth. Look how many guys they took out for long range, whether it be sniper, gunshot, bow and arrow. Oh, you see all these saviours getting just killed and picked off. Look at the governor in season 3 when he took an Axel with the UG.
Aye.
You know, just shot him from distance.
Yeah, so why has Negan not been shot here?
Are you telling me that Rick couldn't have made this shot?
And also, Negan knows what's going on. He knows they've declared war. Why would he be walking out in this balcony?
Yeah, just
it's idiotic. Honestly, I understand it, right? Negan, this confrontation would have sucked to a degree if Negan was just behind a wall and you just heard his voice, but it would have made at least sense.
It's dumb though. It's fucking dumb. Look at like in season 2. See when Rick kills Dave and Tony? You don't see him walk outside the bar and just stand there and talk to the other guys, because he'll know they'll take fucking shots at him.
Yep.
Why is Negan, when he can see that they broke in here to the sanctuary and they probably killed guys on the post to get inside, but Negan and his entire crew will go out and they'll just stand in the open?
It's just a windy lecture.
And allow Rick or anyone else to take a shot at them.
Now, this episode did 11.44 million viewers on AMC. A far cry from what they do today. I say that like I say far cry. Today is a far cry from doing that.
I mean, I would bet my life that The Walking Dead has not had a higher rating since this episode.
Oh, absolutely not. No. To me, a lot of people were hyped going into season 8 because of All Out War, but then it didn't deliver. So I refuse. Maybe Rick's last episode, but even then,
I think by season 9. I'd be surprised if Rick's episode in season 9 was higher than a couple of episodes in season 8, to be honest.
True, but let's get into it, right? So, we see a couple of flash forwards. Rick's looking old. Why is Rick looking so old and everyone else looks the same? Why is Michonne not aged today, but Rick's aged 40?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. We see Coral comes across some Muslim guy. The Muslim guy wants food.
Sadiq, I think.
But Rick says, we don't do halal around here, and he takes a couple of shots at Sadiq.
And if he killed Sadiq, Carl would still be alive.
Sadiq runs, and Coral's like, oh, we could have helped him. Rick's like, he could be one of them, so we just a bunch of enough in there. We get Rick in all the groups, and we get a speech from Rick at the beginning. Oh, today we stand. Only one guy needs to die. It's Negan. And after tomorrow, we'll move on with the rest of our lives. Aye, because it's just going to be easy to rock up and kill Negan.
He also talks about anyone who stands in our way, well, that we're going to deal with him. It's like, what right has Rick got to say that, and also the right that he's got the right to take whatever he wants?
Yeah, no, it's just dumb. We get all the groups, the Kingdom, Rick's group, the
no, but why does he?
The Hilltop, all these.
Why are we going down the narrative though of it's all right rather than he's killed loads of our crews, he's oppressed us, and we're not going to live like this anymore? That's fair enough, but he's almost making out that he's got this God-given right to this land. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, Rick just needs to remember where he was a season ago, on his knees, crying his eyes out, blowing snot bubbles.
Some guy pointed out, which I thought was brilliant,
Yeah, which anyway, Rick killed this guy.
and tortured him with a walker. So
Yeah,
brilliant.
so I mean, Rick's not exactly a great guy, is he? So we do see them take out some sentries, take out some posts and stuff like that. Then essentially they all rock up outside the sanctuary, and they're there. Negan comes out after obviously being alerted that there's somebody outside. So Negan comes out. You've got Dwight there. I think Dwight and Darrow were communicating earlier in the episode, shooting arrows at each other with little notes. This is It's fucking childlike, isn't it? It's almost like back in the school days when you would pass a note up to somebody you wanted to speak to, or communicate, because the teachers were strict and wouldn't let you talk. It was before my time, but I can imagine that happened back in the day, and that's what this felt like. And basically, Rick gives this speech, a shit speech, not the best Mr. Grimes speech at all. The rest of yous can live. Rick points out that he knows their names, as if that's supposed to be special.
You're Dwight. You're Simon.
You're Gareth, and I don't know who you are. It's like, I'm Regina. I thought her name was Arat, but maybe she's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where she is actually.
But why does Arat and does Regina both look like fucking lesbians?
To try and make them look more heelish, I don't know.
Probably. Anyway, there's
No, look at this is just a big pile of shit, right? The saviors have been, I mean, it's majority men, but here we've got someone like Regina leading the crew, being one of his captains. Fuck off, man! It's just a look.
No, I like real shows that keep it fucking real. See The Sopranos. Adriana, spoiler alert, guys, never gets promoted to captain.
Aye.
She's a whore.
Captain of the good ship Lollipop, maybe.
No, but you know.
Fetal, actually.
Yeah, fetal. Yeah, she's never been captain. But you get my point. Like, seeing Sons, they never went to Tara or Ima or someone like that. You only have to prospect in the kitchen for 3 months, and then you can have a seat at the table. No, there was different roles, and I get it. The Walking Dead is a little bit different to the extent where it's survival and it's not a club. It's not like a criminal gang.
There's no rules in place, so
but still, it is fucking retarded and unrealistic how they try to pretend that like minimum groups are like 50% made up of women. Well, at least the protagonists are. Have you noticed the protagonists are like the antagonists kind of just have like one female in there just to, I don't know, to show a wee bit of diversity, I guess. But it is fucking dumb.
No, it is dumb. I mean, the saviors are a couple of hundred strong easily, and majority men, and fighting age men at that. There's they don't take care of the sick or the infirm, and here we are. Where a woman is.
There's still no draft in
she's essentially at the fifth in command.
There's still no draft in the real world that drafts females into war. That doesn't exist in America, but they're trying to push that if a zombie outbreak happened, that the women would step up and like take care of it. Oh, and then even last year where they were just trying to constantly push Carol as Carol's the best fighter. If she gets involved in this war, Negan's in trouble. I mean, give me a fucking break. Anyway, basically Negan's like, nah, I'm not really interested, Rick. You're here to have a whose dick's bigger contest. We all know it's mine. And then Negan says, you're willing to let all these people die because you got the smaller dick. And Negan says if he had the smaller dick, he would live with it. He'd be okay with it. So, but Negan comes out with some funny stuff, but at the same time, you're thinking, hold on here, the guy's talking about who's got the bigger dick, and Rick could just, headshot him. It doesn't make any sense. Then Negan pulls out Gregory, as if he's just pulled the biggest trump card of all time, and Gregory's like, anyone here from the hilltop? We stand with Negan. And Negan's like, and then he goes, anyone here from the hilltop that doesn't stand with Negan will no longer be welcome at the hilltop.
Which is obviously a given.
And then he's like, anyone here who stands against Negan will have their families kicked out of the hilltop. He's like, and? It's like, right, basically anyone here with the hilltop, you're not allowed to stand against Negan or you die, because I'm Gregory and I do this, I do that. And then he's trying to say where they stand, and then Jesus shouts, the hilltop stands with Maggie. And it's like, why can't the Hilltop stand with fucking Jesus?
The Hilltop stand with Rick.
Apart from the fact he's a fruit and he's like 5 foot tall.
No, but
no. I mean, seriously.
No, but this would be like Gregory saying the Hilltop stands with Gregory. No, the Hilltop in his eyes is now standing with Negan. So therefore, the Hilltop in Jesus' eyes should be standing with Rick. Because Rick is the head honcho here. They can pretend there's a trifecta going on, but it's Rick fucking Grimes.
But I guess it's their way of showing, look, no, we're all equal. Whereas look at Negan, he's oppressive. Everyone in that side has to like bow down to Negan. Whereas we've all got our different groups, we've all got different identities, different leaders, blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, effectively, it is Rick that's leading the show.
Gavin was almost willing to negotiate here.
Yeah, it's like, could you give us a bit more time? And he doesn't get any more time. Rick then says, I'll give you a 10-second count. He gets to 7 and he decides to fuck it. Just starts shooting.
Which just shows that, well, why didn't you shoot him when you walked in?
Yeah, Negan and his crew then run inside of the building, and Rick and everyone else just decide to waste all their entire ammo on shooting out windows.
And guys, there's no excuse for this, right? I don't care what your explanation is. This is simply a waste of bullets, right? And the key thing is as well, see if you want to argue they wanted to shoot the windows out and like cover the place in glass, fair enough. But they did not need every single person there to do it. I mean, maybe 3, 4 or 5 people.
What are they doing? Planning on making Negan's sanctuary cold or something? Or anyway.
Yeah, and this is a zombie apocalypse. There is not the luxury of ammo.
Speaking of zombies, away from this, you had Daryl, Morgan, Carol, and Tara. And their job was basically to lead this swarm, this horde of zombies to the sanctuary. But people go, well, that's why they shot at the window. No, that's not. The shooting had nothing to do with that. Daryl was leading them there with explosives and like fire. So they didn't need to. That wasn't why they shot out the windows. I think just to try and make the place colder or some bullshit like that. But either way.
And also, the shooting didn't last that long to draw the walkers. There.
Yeah, no, it was Daryl that drew the walkers with the fire and the explosives. That was obvious. Then we get into a bit of a shootout. Negan fights back. He fires some shots. Gabriel saves Rick and gets Rick out of there, but then...
Who Rick could have probably killed Negan if he pushed forward.
Yeah, then Gabriel's kind of stuck and he finds the man for the Hilltop, Gregory, and he's like, I'll help you, Gregory. But Gregory's like, fuck it, I'll help myself. Gregory runs away, jumps in Gabriel's car and drives off. So Gabriel then runs about the sanctuary, shitloads of walkers within touching distance, grabbing distance, but no one can grab him. He then manages to get into this little, I don't know, container ship or something like that, wee office. Don't know what it was. It was this little what was it? Like a building or?
It's like one of those wee, like, offices that you'd see in a construction site.
Something like that. He jumps inside.
It's like something Gus would meet the Salamancas in.
Yeah, it's dark. You know, pretty good camouflage in there for Gabriel, but of course there's some other guy who's dressed in all black and he's camouflaged right in the back, and you just hear this voice, you got your shooting pants on? And Gabriel's like, what the hell? And then Negan walks forward and said, I hope you got your shooting pants on, because you're about to shoot your pants. And, I mean, that wasn't the end of the episode,
but
it really fucking should have been. We then went back to like another fast forward where Rick looks old and Judith is talking to him, and then we get like a little conversation between Rick and Maggie where Rick's like, I could have killed him, but Gabriel, he saved me. So I don't know, Rick's feeling maybe guilty the fact that Gabriel got left behind. I don't really know. I don't really care. That was your episode. It fucking sucked, especially for a premiere.
And for me, it did cover the basics of an all-out war, but the execution was so poor. It came across as cheap. The explosions looked very cheap. Negan coming out, all the ammo being wasted. Just a piss poor attempt. And for me, it lays the ground for a pretty poor season ahead.
Nothing happened. Rick came out, looked at Negan. They had a standoff. Negan went back inside. Rick fired some bullets at Negan's windows, and that was your episode. That was your episode. No mercy. Follow up for last season. Rick shoots a couple of windows out and Negan ends up trapped with Gabriel. But that was it. That was your episode. Really, really disappointing. But we'll see what happens going forward. I'm expecting more than this in the future, but I mean, you never know.
It'll probably be back to the format of they have a couple of episodes off between them.
I just feel like they dragged out season 7 to make this arc like 2 full seasons, when in reality, Don't know if they need it to.
Maybe a season and a half would have done.
Aye, anyway, rating time, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. I think I'm being pretty generous there because it was a pretty poor episode.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10 as well. There wasn't a lot I liked, but I think there was enough to enjoy it to a degree without completely bashing it. Anyway, 4 out of 10. Till next time. Peace.